Have you ever been denied an apartment, a car loan, or even a cell phone plan because you didn't have credit? If you're an immigrant in the US, Canada, or any country with a credit system, you're not alone. Most immigrants struggle to build credit, not because they're bad with money, but because no one taught them the rules of the game. The credit system works very differently from how finances are managed in many other countries, and without proper guidance, it's easy to make mistakes that can set you back years. What's worse is that many immigrants don't even realize they're making these mistakes until it's too late, when they're already being denied for loans or facing higher interest rates. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why most immigrants fail to build credit, and more importantly, how you can avoid those mistakes and build a strong credit profile faster than you think. We'll break down the entire process into simple, actionable steps that anyone can follow, regardless of their current financial situation. By the end of this video, you'll know the step-by-step system to go from no credit to excellent credit, even if you just arrived in the country. This isn't just theory, these are proven strategies that have helped thousands of immigrants establish solid credit histories. Let's start with the biggest mistakes immigrants make, mistakes that can keep you stuck for years if you're not careful. These are the pitfalls that destroy credit before it even has a chance to grow, and understanding them is the first step toward building financial stability in your new country. Many immigrants believe their good credit back home will help them here. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. The US, Canada, and most other countries don't recognize foreign credit history. You're starting from zero, and that means you're invisible to lenders. This blank slate can actually work to your advantage if you know how to use it, but most people don't realize they need to actively build their credit from day one. Without any credit history, you might find yourself unable to rent an apartment without a cosigner, getting denied for basic credit cards, or paying huge deposits for simple services like cell phone contracts. The good news is that with the right approach, you can build a credit history faster than you might think, but first you need to understand where others go wrong. Some immigrants fear credit cards, thinking they'll fall into debt. Others use only debit cards or cash because that's what they're accustomed to from their home countries. But here's the problem: if you don't use credit, you don't build credit. No credit history means no credit score, and that locks you out of loans, apartments, and even some jobs. Many immigrants don't realize that in countries like the US, your credit score affects far more than just your ability to borrow money. It can impact your insurance rates, your ability to rent a home, and even some employment opportunities. The key is to use credit cards responsibly, not avoid them entirely. By paying your balance in full each month and keeping your utilization low, you can build credit without ever paying a cent in interest. Not all credit cards are created equal. Many immigrants start with secured cards, which require a deposit, but never upgrade to unsecured cards, missing out on better terms and higher limits that could help their credit grow faster. Others apply for cards with high fees and low limits, which don't help build credit efficiently and can actually cost you money unnecessarily. Some fall for predatory cards marketed specifically to immigrants with no credit history, cards that charge outrageous fees while providing little benefit. The truth is that there are much better options available if you know where to look. Certain secured cards, for example, will automatically review your account for graduation to an unsecured card after a period of responsible use, and some even offer cashback rewards. In many countries, credit isn't as big of a deal. But in the US and Canada, your credit report is like a financial report card, and errors can hurt you. Many immigrants don't check their reports, leaving them vulnerable to mistakes or even identity theft. What's worse is that credit reporting errors are surprisingly common, and if you don't catch them, they can linger on your report for years, dragging down your score. Simple things like a misspelled name, an incorrect address, or even someone else's account mistakenly reported on your file can have serious consequences. The good news is that checking your credit report is free and easy, and disputing errors is simpler than most people realize. Regular monitoring can help you catch problems early and keep your credit on track. Your credit score depends partly on the length of your credit history. If you close your oldest credit card, you could shorten your history and drop your score. Many immigrants don't realize this and end up hurting their own credit by closing accounts they no longer use. This is especially common when people upgrade from a secured card to an unsecured one. They often want to close the secured account to get their deposit back, not realizing they're erasing valuable credit history. Even if you don't use a card anymore, keeping it open, with a zero balance, can help your credit in the long run. Of course, there are exceptions. If a card has high annual fees and no benefits, it might make sense to close it, but in most cases, keeping old accounts open will help your credit score. Now that you know the biggest pitfalls, let's talk about how to fix them and build credit fast. These strategies have helped countless immigrants go from no credit to good credit in as little as a year, and they can work for you too if you're consistent and disciplined. A secured card is the easiest way to begin. You put down a deposit, usually $200 to $500, and that becomes your credit limit. Use it for small purchases and pay it off in full every month. After 6 to 12 months of responsible use, many banks will graduate you to an unsecured card and refund your deposit. Some of the best secured cards even offer rewards and don't charge annual fees, making them a great starting point. The key is to use the card regularly but keep your balance low, ideally below 30% of your limit, and always pay on time. This demonstrates responsible credit use and helps build your history. Don't make the mistake of thinking a secured card is less than a regular credit card. It's actually one of the most powerful tools for building credit when used correctly. If you have a family member or close friend with good credit, ask if they'll add you as an authorized user on their card. You don't even need to use the card, just being on the account can help build your credit history. This strategy works because the primary cardholder's positive payment history gets added to your credit report as well. Of course, this only works if the primary cardholder uses credit responsibly. If they miss payments or carry high balances, it could actually hurt your credit. That's why it's important to only do this with someone you trust completely to manage their credit well. Some credit card companies even let you be added as an authorized user without the primary cardholder actually giving you access to the account, which can be ideal if they're concerned about security. Most landlords and utility companies don't report payments to credit bureaus, but they could. Services like RentTrack and Experian Boost let you add rent and utility payments to your credit report, turning everyday bills into credit-building tools. This is especially valuable for immigrants because it allows you to get credit for payments you're already making. Many people don't realize that their on-time rent payments, often their largest monthly expense, aren't helping their credit simply because they're not being reported. These services can help bridge that gap, though it's important to note that not all credit scoring models consider these payments. Still, every positive mark on your credit report helps, and this can be an easy way to start building history without taking on new debt. Credit unions and online lenders offer credit builder loans designed for people with no credit. You borrow a small amount, usually $500 to $1,000, but instead of getting the money up front, it's held in a savings account. As you make payments, the lender reports them to the credit bureaus, building your history. At the end, you get the money back, plus better credit. These loans are essentially forced savings accounts with the added benefit of building your credit. The interest rates are typically low, and some credit unions offer them with no interest at all. This is one of the safest ways to build credit because you're not actually getting access to the money until you've proven you can make the payments. It's also a great way to diversify your credit mix, which can help your score. Even if you pay your bill in full every month, maxing out your credit card can hurt your score. A good rule? Never use more than 30% of your limit. If your limit is $500, try to keep your balance below $150. This is because credit utilization, the percentage of your available credit that you're using, makes up a significant portion of your credit score. The lower your utilization, the better it is for your score. Some experts recommend keeping it below 10% for optimal scoring. The good news is that utilization has no memory. If you have high utilization one month, you can fix it the next month by paying down your balances. As your credit limits increase over time, maintaining low utilization becomes easier. You're entitled to free credit reports from the major bureaus. Check them at least once a year for errors. Apps like Credit Karma or Experian give you free score updates and alerts for changes. Monitoring your credit is crucial because it lets you track your progress and catch any problems early. Many immigrants are surprised to find errors on their reports, from simple misspellings to accounts that don't belong to them. These errors can drag down your score unnecessarily, but they can usually be fixed with a simple dispute. Regular monitoring also helps you understand how your financial behaviors affect your score, allowing you to adjust your strategy as needed. After a year or so, consider adding another type of credit, like a small personal loan or a retail store card. Lenders like to see that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. This doesn't mean you should take on debt unnecessarily, but having a mix of credit types, revolving credit like credit cards and installment loans like auto loans, can help your score. For example, once you've had a credit card for a while and have built some history, a small credit builder loan can add diversity to your credit profile. Just remember that each new application causes a small, temporary dip in your score, so space out your applications and only apply for credit you actually need. Now, how long does this take? If you follow these steps, you could have a good credit score, 670 plus, in 12 to 18 months. An excellent score, 740 plus, might take 2 to 3 years, but you'll see progress every month. The key is consistency, making on-time payments every month, keeping balances low, and avoiding new credit applications unless necessary. Remember that building credit is a marathon, not a sprint. Early on, your score might seem to move slowly, but as your history lengthens and your positive habits accumulate, your progress will accelerate. One last tip: patience is key. Building credit is a marathon, not a sprint. But if you avoid the common mistakes and follow this system, you'll be in a stronger financial position than most people, immigrants and locals alike. The discipline you develop in building your credit will serve you well in all areas of personal finance. So, which step are you going to take first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want a free checklist with all these steps, click the link in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video, where we'll talk about how to buy a house with no credit history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.